way back. This is also my first time doing this, so bear with me.
Hi, Doug!
How are you all doing? Hopefully we'll have an exciting ride back. Oh yeah.
And I love Astoria. Astoria is the favorite place I've ever lived. There's such a good energy here, and I couldn't count how many scenes are here that I want to paint. I accumulate them faster than I can actually paint them. So I don't see leaving because there's so many things here I want to paint, and I love it here. I love it here. So I see something. I see an image, a scene that I really connect with, and I sort of make a mental note that I want to paint that. I want to render it. You know, I make the mental note and I start photographing it more, and sooner or later it turns into a drawing and a painting. And but the rate at which I see those places in Astoria is higher than the rate at which I actually produce the painting. So therefore I accumulate the images that I want to paint. I mean, Astoria has so many little interesting quirks in the streets, the way that neighborhoods are laid out, and there's a street that just feels like some of those demon corn paintings of San Francisco, and that's one, and they're within a block of one another, and there are dozens of others. There's lots and lots of them. I like cityscapes, and I think that I like cityscapes because I like the intersection of something organic, something natural with something man-made, and they're so different. They're so different, and when they intersect, I think that's interesting. But the biggest thing is and Astoria is great for this because there's always a sense of, there's an energy here it's a forward-looking energy, but there's also this strong feeling of story, of kind of backward-looking, of history, and it has a feel to it. It has a feel to it, and that's really what I've focused on painting lately is, what does it feel like to be in Astoria, Oregon? What does it feel like to be in the oldest town in the western United States that that has so much patina here, and that's what I'm after, is that feeling of place. You know, it's like I'm not trying to make historic images. I'm trying to make modern images of a historic place. You know, past and present appeals to me.
So you're a person that maybe, would you say, enjoys living in the present day?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that the imagery that I'm drawn to is imagery that people connect to. I mean, people say it's Edward Hopper-esque. So I feel free to follow my creative vision without considering, you know, how marketable it is or how commercially viable it is. I think that my vision resonates with quite a few people. So I've never felt the need to set aside the imagery that I'm really drawn to do something more commercially viable, because I think I just kind of got lucky that the things that I like are resonate with people. So I'm probably lucky in that way. This piece is that's right below us. It's a couple blocks below us, and it's probably an example of why people say it's, you know, Hopper-esque. Something that I think people have commented about Hopper is that they're kind of empty cities, and you know, this is that there's a sense of solitude in it because of the severe shadows, like his piece Early Sunday Morning, I think it's called, and there are no people in it. You know, and that it's an architectural painting as well. I think the thing that I connected with primarily with Edward Hopper is the subject matter, the kinds of candid, everyday city views. I think that really to see the shapes, to see the contours, you have to have, you know, light and shadow is what describes a shape. So, you know, early and late is that's the time to get it. Mm-hmm. There, and I really liked the way that light penetrated the water. There's really sophisticated light in that, and I think that sort of drew me to it.
So you go out at night purposely to capture images like this, is that correct?
Yeah, I have been recently. I just kind of started doing the night scenes. It's an unfolding. It starts with a fairly vague image, usually a feeling of a place. Then there's kind of a trade-off. On one hand, you're creating this image, and on the other hand, you're discovering the image. And both of those things sort of go, you know, back and forth at once. You're kind of doing both at once, and yeah, it's just it's an evolution. It's an evolution. I'm not sure where ideas come from. I'm an inventor too, some occasional inventor, and I am a writer, and I have a sense of not creating an idea, but of catching it. But you know, sometimes actually I do kind of have the sense of opening my hand and saying, okay, you know, this is the part of the process, and an idea does kind of appear, but it's not like I'm willing it to happen. It's that I'm receiving it. Is that I'm just being a conduit, and it appears. For me, I have to have the openness to receive whatever that is, whatever that is where ideas come from. It's a willingness to make a place for it. It's like you're welcome to embody me. You can come here. And I don't know where creative ideas really happen, but that's my sense. That's my sense is that if you make a place for them to land, they just kind of land. Mm-hmm. I think there is a commonality in all art forms, and I think it's they're all expression of one kind or another, and they have that in common. Whether you're a dancer, or a singer, or a painter, or a filmmaker, it's all a form of expression. Well, I think by expression I mean that I think we all have a sort of emotional fingerprint. We all have a unique response to our environment, and if that's true, and we share what that response is, I think that's what expression is. And I think a lot of people have a need to share what that is. It's kind of a way of saying, while we may all be the same in some ways, we're all unique in lots of other ways. I'm not sure I have a concise definition of beauty, but I'm interested in finding beauty in unexpected places and unexpected beauty. And an example, the night scenes I've been doing, I did one of the Moose Lodge at the bottom of the hill, and I don't think that people would look at that building and say that's a beautiful building, but there's so much to see, and in any scene there are things that are nondescript, there are things that are not beautiful, but almost everywhere you can see some beauty. You can see beautiful elements, and so I think I'm always looking for that. I think I'm always looking for what is the beautiful thing there, and can I showcase that part and sort of down tune the rest of it. I've had to develop a philosophy about my process when I started doing this for a living, and the philosophy is simple: is that the process belongs to me. That's my reward. Is I get to make art. I get to make a lot of art. The trade is that I don't attach myself to the pieces. The painting is an artifact of a process, and the painting is for you. The process is for me, and that that works out well because because they're I can't covet them, and the process itself is it's work, but it's cathartic work. It's a way of seeing your environment, and it's a meditation, and something I greatly miss if I'm not doing it. If I don't have one painting that is just beginning, one that's just finishing, one that's kind of in between, I don't feel something's missing. So I always want to be in that process, because I've come to it's come to be my favorite thing, I think.
You're working on 3 paintings at the same time?
I'm working on a dozen paintings at the same time. I try to always have music when I'm painting, but I like to, because I enjoy it more when music is playing. I think that making art and self-expression is good for people. I think it's good for people to do. One, because it helps you see the world. If you draw something, you understand it better than if you haven't drawn it. And if you paint something, you understand it better than if you haven't painted it. That's worthwhile. But also, I think the process is not just sort of good for the soul, but good for the body. I think I saw an article the other day that said making art for a little while reduces cortisol levels, and I believe that because I think I can feel it, and so I'm a believer in art therapy, that you don't have to be on the way to being a professional artist to pick up a paintbrush, express yourself, and get something valuable from it. I think everybody can get something from doing it.
Is it Frank?
Frankie,
Frankie.
the studio pug.
The studio pug. How does Frankie play in to your creativity? Does Frankie enhance your creativity?
Well, Frankie is one. He's always funny, so he always lightens the mood. He's never not funny. So he's good. He's good art energy, and it's funny too because he'll actually look at a painting. I mean, just like that, just like that.